And just like that, the Crimson Tide now have the number one recruiting class in the nation, because today, the number one tight end in all of high school football, Jaleel Skinner, an incredibly talented prospect playing out of IMG, has committed to the Crimson Tide, and we need to talk about why this is such a big commitment for Alabama. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from you. Hop down to the comments, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you excited that Skinner is now a part of the Crimson Tide class? Let me know what you're thinking. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoy this content, be sure to like and comment down below. Those interactions, those small, are massive to content creators such as myself and getting picked up and maintained by the YouTube algorithm. But with all that being said, let's hop straight into this. And this is a great addition to the 22 cycle for the Crimson Tide. Jaleel Skinner was one of the most sought after prospects in the nation. During his recruiting cycle, he has had many comparisons. In fact, Florida compared him to Kyle Pitts. But right before he made his commitment, 24/7 sports recruiting expert Andrew Ivins compared him to Jared Cook, which is an incredibly lofty comparison. All of this to say, this young man is deserving of being a top 100, the number one tight end in all of high school football. Standing 6'5", 210 pounds, he's got a body that can put on weight and not diminish in athleticism and speed and any of the qualities that have separated him from the pack of tight ends in this class, of which there are plenty of talented tight ends in this 22 cycle. So to be the number one is really saying something. This commitment to the Crimson Tide is huge. It gives Alabama their third tight end in this class, which I think really speaks to the production we're seeing right now out of the tight end position at Alabama. When you look at Alabama's offense, Cameron Latou is having a great season. Jaleel Billingsley continues to be one of the biggest mismatches in college football, and Jaleel Skinner is an individual who looks at this situation and recognizes Bryce Young has another year there. He's sensational in his first year starting, but he's only going to keep getting better. He's there another year, and Skinner sees an opportunity to instantly make an impact on this offense, and you know the Crimson Tide coaching staff is over the moon. Now, Alabama ultimately won this commitment battle from the likes of Miami, Clemson, Florida, Texas, multiple teams wanting Jaleel Skinner, and IMG pipeline to Alabama continues to be strong. This is not the first individual Alabama has gotten from IMG in this recruiting class. Tyler Booker, another individual, and that pipeline has proved to be something that has been paramount for the Crimson Tide in their recruiting success. Now, speaking of recruiting success, Nick Saban has done it once again. Many people were wondering when the Crimson Tide recruiting class would heat up. I had people commenting over the summer wondering if this class was going to be able to match last year's class. However, here we are, just at the beginning portions of October, and the Crimson Tide now have the number one recruiting class in the nation. And oh yeah, by the way, they have the number one recruiting class in the nation with only 16 commitments, with plenty of room to go. This Alabama class is going to be a really special one, and it's insane to think that this class could mirror what they did last year. But with only 16 commitments, with the commitments they have and with the battles they are still in, this class could mirror last year's class. And what's scarier is when you look at the 23 cycle, with all the talented players being located in the state of Alabama, you have to imagine Alabama likes their chances with a lot of those guys. Alabama is known for recruiting. There's no doubt about it. But being able to put together a class this good after the class they got last year, and I get it, they always get good classes, but last year's class was historically good. I mean, historically good. To follow that up with being the number one recruiting class in the nation with only 16 commitments says something, especially when the three teams that were in front of Alabama before they got this commitment all had 20 plus commits. Alabama still has a lot of room in their class, so it is going to be very hard to pass them, especially if they continue to get some of these high-profile guys they're in the middle of battles for. This is a great pickup. You have to imagine not only is Bryce Young excited for this, but Ty Simpson, the current five-star quarterback in the class, has got to be over the moon, as well as Emmanuel Henderson, getting in another high-powered offensive weapon, and this Crimson Tide recruiting class is really shaping up to be a special one. Hop down to the comments, let me know what you're thinking about this. That's it. See ya.